Our next presenters are from Centro Biopharma Solutions, and they are a 2024 CDMO Leadership Award winner. They are Jana Blake, Manager of Business Development, and Dr. Arna Jendretsky, Head of Development Services in Halle, Westfalen, Germany. Welcome, Jana and Arna.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. I'm here to talk about Centra Biopharma Solutions. So we are formerly known as Baxter Biopharma Solutions. So in October, we became an independent company. And we've decided
Jana, I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. There seems to be a feedback, and sometimes that can be solved if you lower your volume. Sorry for the interruption.
Is that better? Perfect. Okay.
It is. You're clear now.
Thank you. So as I was saying, we are formerly known as Baxter Biopharma Solutions. We became an independent CDMO in October of 2023. And so we help pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies develop and produce high quality sterile injectables for patients globally. Okay, so I'm going to focus on 3 tiers in this slide. We have over 65 years of sterile injectable manufacturing experience. We support clients from development through clinical as well as commercial fill finish. The 3 pillars I'll talk about in this slide are going to be reliable performance, trusted expertise, and a future-focused capabilities. So for reliable performance, we're committed to delivering right the first time and in full and on time. We have robust quality systems. We have award-winning facilities, as you mentioned, and we have products that are approved in the market in more than 120 countries. For trusted expertise, we have tenured experience and highly trained staff in all areas. Those are from development, scientific expertise, all the way through commercial production. We partner with over 50% of the top 20 pharma companies over the last 3 years. And then I'll highlight a little on future-focused capabilities. So continuous improvement in premium systems to support operations, ongoing capacity expansions, which I'll talk about in the next slide, right? And expanding our breadth of capabilities to development services to support clients on their product journey. Okay, so Centra is composed of 2 sites. The one on the top there and the one that I reside in is Bloomington, Indiana, USA. And then we also have a site in Halle, Westfalen, Germany. Together, the 2 sites have over 1,600 employees, and that's across multifunctional groups such as quality control, manufacturing, of course, engineering, R&D and development, regulatory affairs, etc. To talk about the 2 expansions that Centra started, we have the first one that's in Halle, Westfalen, Germany. That was a $100 million expansion, and that includes a new vial line as well as a new pre-filled syringe line. And then in Bloomington, we recently broke ground on a $250 million expansion, and that includes 2 high-speed syringe filling lines as well as a high-speed vial line for liquid and lyo capabilities. All of those are isolator technology, and that lyo is 3 30 square meter lyophilizers, so a lot of capacity there. And I'll talk a little bit later about the new clinical line that we've also purchased, and that will be available mid next year. We are dedicated to our clients through development and clinical as well as commercial technologies. We meet FDA, JP, and EU regulatory standards. Here in Bloomington is housed the Lyo Center of Excellence. So we are very dedicated to our clients as it pertains to cycle development and maybe even cycle optimization. We have downstream packaging facility about a mile from the main site here, and that can support any type of visual inspection, automated visual, semi-automated, et cetera, as well as packaging configurations. Okay, this slide is going to break down different types of molecules that we support. I will say that we have a deep focus, as I mentioned, in sterile injectable manufacturing, a lot of experience there, 150 million plus units annually. And our offerings do continue to evolve to support patient needs and client needs. So our platforms at Centra are the prefilled syringe, the diluent syringe, liquid and lyo vials. And product types you can see here on the right of the slide. In Halle, Germany, there's a large focus in ADCs, cytotoxic, and highly potent. And in Bloomington, the focus is more on diluents, vaccines, small molecules, and biologics. However, the development side of Bloomington can certainly handle the ADCs and the cytotoxics if need be, as can Halle. And so with that, I'd like to hand it over to Arna, who's going to talk about development services. So I'll hand it off. Arna?
Yes, hi. First of all, thanks to Perry for the introduction, and Jana, thank you for opening the presentation. As Jana already told you, both of our sites in Bloomington and in Halle are well recognized as in the CMO landscape for many, many years. And besides the mentioned increase in manufacturing capacity, a key topic on Simtra's agenda is to grow the D in the CDMO, meaning the development part. And whereas the Lyophilization Center of Excellence in Bloomington has been delivering formulation and lyophilization development support for many, many years now, Halle has a profound experience in supporting the manufacturing of clinical stage materials. Now, as one Simtra, you can expect from the two sides a highly comparable service portfolio with fully integrated drug development and manufacturing solutions. As Jane already mentioned, she will talk a bit more about the clinical stage manufacturing in Bloomington at the end of the talk here, and I'm able to tell you a bit more about the development service portfolio overall, and which we are specifically growing in Halle too. To represent the Simtra development services, we decided to give the citation here from the ICH guideline, and this is intended to demonstrate that words like quality by design, stability by design, that these are not just words on paper written in some guidelines, but rather they are really here the central element of our services. So after your initial API discovery and characterization has been done, you have your target product profile in mind, and from this stage we can support you with end-to-end services, meaning on the development side, and I will become a bit more specific there, on the in the non-GXP environment, then with a transfer directly into the GMP environment on our different filling lines there to support your clinical trial demands. And with your product maturing through the clinical stages, also the processes and the analytical methods will be validated, and we can support you then once it comes to filing your product, and then of course also support your commercial supplies, so with the commercial manufacturing. Specifically here on this slide, I would like to go a bit more into detail about the services that we are offering for development. And I mentioned already formulation development and lyophilization cycle development are key expertises where we have more than 20 years of experience in supporting different development stage programs. Of course, when we start to develop a new product, we always have in mind also the compatibility of the formulation of your product to the materials that you will see on our different manufacturing lines here to ensure that no surprises are happening or will be happening during the transfer and the scale up. We can also support you for container closure selection if that has not been done already earlier ahead from you. And of course, a solid development work can only be done on a profound basis, really, that is the analytical side of it. And here we can support you with the analytical method development, as well as, of course, the transfer and the validation, and this is all performed on fully qualified equipment at Simtra. Of course, then also the services portfolio is complemented by the different kind of stability studies, for all different requirements, all temperature zones as possible, and also force degradation studies following ICH recommendations and guidances can be supported, like temperature stress studies, of course, but also mixing, pH spiking, light exposure studies. All this is part of our force degradation study portfolio. Another special focus in the Blooming Lab is also a strong expertise in particle identification that will also help, or may also help, during formulation development. The next slide here gives a bit insight into the special equipment that we are having to support your development activities. Of course, I mentioned before, there's a strong focus on lyophilization, but of course that's not all that we can do. Still, we are very well equipped here with different development scale freeze dryers that are either lyostars, which are equipped, for example, with the TDLAS as post-analytical technology. There's also an instrument from Milrock available with the lyopad you see on the screen here. But there's also another small-scale lyophilizer manufactured by Optima in the laboratory in Halle. And yeah, the goal of our development work here is, of course, always to provide you the most efficient lyophilization cycle in the most robust design space. And yeah, to do that, we of course can also determine the critical product temperatures for your product using either DSC, TGA, or freeze drying microscopy. And the design space that always ensures that then there are no surprises during scale up and transfer to our GMP manufacturing lines later on. The techniques here are complemented by everything you need to characterize lyophilized products. For example, to measure the moisture content with Carl Fischer or near-infrared resonance. This can be done in the labs as well as some other methods here, like XRPD, X-ray powder diffraction, that you may want to characterize your lyo product with. Of course, also other equipment is available for particle identification and everything you may think of later on to get your product released and analyzed, like dozens of HPLC and UPLC instruments are available, as well as everything else you can think of to analyze the different product types that Jana mentioned on her slide. So this slide shows a graphical drawing or a picture of our clinical manufacturing workhorse, I would call her. That's the PPE E2 line in Halle. The line has been constructed in 2016 together with a whole building around it. And this is our small-scale filling line in that building. And most of the clinical molecules that were transferred to the Halle site went to that line. And this is one of the award-winning lines, actually. It was Factory of the Year in 2016, the year the line or the building became operational. This line here, as the whole Sintra manufacturing part in Halle, is SafeBridge certified, which enables us to have the high potent molecule handling that Jana mentioned already. And technically, this Bausch and Ströbel line here is state-of-the-art, equipped with 4 head fillers and 100-point fill weight checks, all that you need. The compounding suite is something special here because it's designed in a way, and that's actually what you can see here on the picture, with highest amount of flexibility. So we can handle here everything from very small batches with only a few liters of material up to big stainless steel containers of already a size of 350 liters. And the general focus of Sintra is lyophilized molecules, but of course liquids can also be filled here without problems. Every vial filling line we have at Sintra is equipped with at least a single lyophilizer. In this case here, it's a 17 square meters lyo that can already house up to 61,000 vials of the small 2R kind, or up to 17,000 of the bigger 20R vials. So here we can really offer a broad portfolio of different batch sizes that we can support. And also commercial products can be manufactured here at scales that are sometimes sufficient. Otherwise, then a transfer to another line could also be enabled here. So with that, I would hand over again to Jana to talk about the Bloomington clinical filling.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm really happy and excited to talk about this new line. Clinical filling, Centra Hala, I'll say, is no stranger to that. But Bloomington historically has been more focused in large commercial volumes. So I'm really excited that we're adding that D back in the CDMO, and we're really pushing our development space and adding clinical manufacturing back to Bloomington. So this is our new line for clinical manufacturing. It has been ordered. It's scheduled to arrive at the end of this year, and it's scheduled to be GMP ready by mid 2025. So we're openly ready to talk about that, issue proposals, and have some conversations around this. This is an AST Genesis R line. It can fill nested syringes, vials, and stoppers. It's about 20 units per minute. It does have 100% in-process control for weight checks. Vial sizes from a capability 2R to 50R. Syringes as low as 0.5 ml to 50R. It is peristaltic pump filling, and it's a 2-head filler. It does have, of course, viable and non-viable monitoring. It is Annex 1 compliant. And it does have a lyophilizer as well, an IMA Lyomax 3.9, so it's 3.9 square meters. And the capacity of that is from a small vial, the 2R, about 16.1 thousand, up or down to, I should say, 4.2 thousand of the 20R vial. Fog nucleation, and it also has automated loading and unloading. So we're very excited, as I mentioned, to get this line on site and have that GMP ready mid next year. So in conclusion, I just want to point out that you can visit us here at Centra.com. Please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn if you have any further questions or any other questions I'll say about capabilities, or if you want to just have a conversation about your molecule. And we're also on LinkedIn a lot, so you can see all of our latest updates from both Bloomington and Hala if you follow us on LinkedIn. Thank you all so much. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Jana and Arna. So we have some really good audience questions. The first one is has to do with lyophilization. Specifically, let's see, can you support frozen liquid drug product? The example they use is monoseptic recombinant live microbial products. Do you have the ability to support that?
Can you repeat
that
the
one? I might have to follow up on, to be completely honest. Arna, do you know the answer to that?
Can you repeat the product class, please? I didn't get it.
Yep. Monoseptic recombinant live microbial products.
I wouldn't be able to answer that too. I think it's nothing we have supported so far, so we will probably have to check that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Igor. The question came from Igor, so it's in the question pane, and you can follow up with him. All right. One other one, another really good one. Can you elaborate or describe how you segregate and control HPAPI and non-potent compounds in your fill finish lines?
Yes. So basically, this is true for the Halle part of it, since we are manufacturing cytotoxic and non-cytotoxic, high potent, not high potent molecules in the facility. So in general, we have established there a clear strategy around the cleaning validation. And that is dependent really that for every single product that goes into the site, we have an evaluation performed based on the OEL value of the product, and ideally also the PDB value. If that is already in place at early stages, that's usually not the case. But here, we always discuss the strategy with our customers there. In general, the Halle site has a focus to distinguish between oncology filling line, and there is also a single non-oncology focus line where definitely no high potent molecules are manufactured. So the complete answer to that is really long. So if there is a deepened interest, I'd be happy to explain that in more detail.
Okay, thanks, Arno. You did a great job answering the question. It's pretty complex. Srini asked that question. Maybe you can follow up with him offline. All right, focusing on the D, growing the D for development. This one comes up often. How quickly can you start a development project?
So right now we can start immediately, essentially, depending on what your needs are. So when you first reach out to us, we'll have a couple of high-level questions, and then let's jump into a CDA and let's start talking about the molecules. And I can certainly help with that and bring the right people to the table. Talk about capabilities more in depth, talk about your molecule, and then issue a proposal. So I would say from contact to proposal issuance, I would say less than 30 days. So we are ready to roll and we're ready to talk about your molecules. So please reach out.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Jana Blake, Manager of Business Development,
Thank
and
you.
Dr. Arna Jendretsky. He's the head of Development Services, growing the D. They are both from Simtra Biopharma Solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.